Welcome back to video number 11. Now, video number 10, we kind of had a chat about, okay, what is variables, and we chat about a bit about what is PHP. We got jumped into the basics of, the algebra behind what variables are, and I kind of want to take it now and break it down a bit more. And I kind of went and deleted all my files that we created because I actually want us to recreate the whole environment and add a bit of extra files, add a bit of extra pages that changes a little bit of stuff, so that we can get more experience as to variables, but not only variables, but PHP in essence. So PHP, what we're also going to look at with PHP is how to create a date or how to echo a date that we can use in our PHP coding. Now, this can be used and various reasons why we would use it. So for me to actually go now and create something that will actually show you how to create the date function on PHP. Now note that the date is actually the function and is not a variable, but we are just going to have a look at it in general. So in essence, we know now that PHP variables are much like algebra, like I said in the previous video, and I kind of want to unravel it a bit more and kind of explain to you a bit more about that. But before we do that, let's get the practical done. Let's do a little bit of practical and then take it from there. So the first thing I want you to go is create a new file structure, and I want you to call this file structure pages. The reason why I want you to create the word pages is just because to get always when you create any kind of website, you want to keep it lowercase and you always want to subdivide all your content. Now I know that you have a basic knowledge of HTML or CSS, but I'm not sure if you guys have knowledge of splitting up your website in the correct manner. Now the correct manner is always making sure that your pages file is done correctly, and not only your pages file, but your relevant subfolders inside of your pages file, and so forth and so forth. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create the right page structure. The second page that I'm going to create is images, and the third one is objects. Oh, and I see there's a new folder right there. So I'm gonna create objects, and I'm gonna create a folder called jQuery, but we're not going to use this this folder at all. But I want you to get used to creating your subfolders. So create a extra file for CSS and images. So what we've got is CSS for your cascading style sheet, images, jQuery, objects, and pages. This kind of is a general way of creating your content inside of your pages. Now, every single person has got a different theory that they follow, not only a theory, but a different manner of creating the stuff, right? So that is definitely important to know and understand. So that is definitely how we look at the file structure. So basically what we're going to go ahead doing is creating a index.html, and we are also going to create a index.php. Now the reason why we create index.html is kind of basically like a fallback. If for some reason the device does not want to kind of work with any kind of PHP, or there's a certain something down or something, you'll always have your index.html and your index.php. Now index.html is just basically a reroute. We would use it to kind of create a reroute. So I'm going to open up the index.html, and the thing that I'm going to write in is basically to define that it is a HTML document, and we are basically going to do the same with the PHP document as well. So I'm going to open up that as well, the PHP. So I've got the index.html and the index.php opened up in my Notepad editor. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to go ahead and create visible content for that, and we're going to go and create something for that. So I'm going to show you how to create a whole structure, a web presence, from scratch. So the next thing that we're going to look at is creating a cascading style sheet, and that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to call it main.css. I'm going to go ahead and open it up in my notepad editor. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to establish my environment, my HTML environment, as well as my index.php environment. Now you will see that it's exactly the same as HTML5 or HTML4 for that matter, and you will see that we've got our index.php and HTML.php, which is at this moment the same thing, right? So what we're going to do now is once we've done that, we are going to create our CSS environment. The CSS environment is quite easy to create. It's just literally a character set that we set, and we just do it by adding that and just putting in comment. I always put it in comment that it is a CSS document.